Alaska exposes a mistake that looks smart on a ballistics chart, choosing the hardest kicking cartridge because the biggest animal might appear. If recoil makes you flinch, slows your follow-up shot, or keeps you from practicing, that energy becomes dead weight when conditions turn steep, wet, and unforgiving. The real question is not which cartridge posts the largest muzzle number. It is which one balances penetration, reach, rifle weight, ammunition availability, and recoil for game and terrain ahead. A load that works in thick coastal alder can become a liability across open tundra, while a flat-shooting mountain cartridge may surrender the handling and bullet weight a close brown bear encounter demands. 7 cartridges made this ranking, from all-around standards to an Alaska-born wildcat most hunters will never see on a store shelf. We begin with number 7, the rarest and most uncompromising cartridge in the ranking. Number 7 is the .50 Alaskan, a cartridge born in Alaska for a problem that rarely leaves room for a second plan. Its verdict is simple: overwhelming close-range authority, paired with recoil, trajectory, and availability that make it far too specialized for most hunters today. Harold Johnson and Bill Fuller developed it in the early 1950s around Cooper Landing. They expanded the case of the .348 Winchester to accept a bullet just over half an inch in diameter. In the original experiments, Johnson reportedly cut down heavy .50 caliber machine gun bullets and seated the remaining sections backward. It was frontier engineering, aimed at putting enormous penetration into a fast-handling lever-action rifle. A representative buffalo bore load launches a 450-grain bonded bullet at about 2,050 feet per second from a 24-inch barrel, producing roughly 4,200 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. That combination favors deep, straight penetration on brown bear or moose at close range. It also explains why the cartridge makes sense in thick alder, where the shot may come quickly under extreme pressure and distance is measured in steps rather than football fields. But the same design extracts a price. Calculated recoil approaches 51 foot-pounds from an 8-pound rifle. With a 150-yard zero, the bullet is already about 6 inches low at 200 yards and roughly 26 inches low at 300. The cartridge is not standardized by SAAMI. Ammunition is rare, and most rifles require expensive custom conversion. So the .50 Alaskan earns number 7 through history, stopping power and pure Alaska character, not versatility. The next cartridge sacrifices some brute force, but replaces custom gun work and scarce ammunition with common rifles, broader usefulness, and more manageable recoil. Number 6 is the .45-70 Government. Unlike the .50 Alaskan, it delivers heavy bullet performance through common ammunition and lever-action rifles. Its verdict is practical close-range power with sharply limited reach. The cartridge dates to 1873, but its Alaska roll comes from compact rifles like the Marlin 1895 guide gun. A short lever action moves easily through coastal brush and thick alder, where a long barrel can snag, and a fast second shot may matter. That makes it a sensible choice for black bear, moose, or brown bear, inside roughly 150 yards. Hornady's representative lever evolution load sends a 325-grain FTX bullet at about 2,000 feet per second, producing roughly 2,900 foot-pounds of energy. Its flexible tip matters because cartridges sit nose to primer in a tubular magazine. It allows a more aerodynamic shape without the primer contact risk of a conventional hard-pointed bullet. Still, improved aerodynamics cannot erase the basic limits. With a 100-yard zero, that load falls about 8.5 inches at 200 yards and roughly 28 inches at 300. Recoil is substantial, reaching about 29 foot-pounds in a typical Marlin, 1895. Modern ammunition spans a broad performance range, so every load must match the pressure rating and condition of the exact rifle. That trade-off defines number 6. It is easier to obtain and more useful than the .50 Alaskan, while retaining the handling advantage of a compact lever gun. But once the terrain opens and the distance grows, its heavy bullet loses speed quickly. Number 5 takes the opposite approach, trading brush gun compactness for flatter flight and greater reach across Alaska's mountains and tundra. Number 5 is the 300 Winchester Magnum. Its advantage is reach. For hunters crossing open tundra or climbing high for Dall sheep, caribou, and mountain goat, this cartridge combines a flat trajectory with enough retained energy when the shot stretches beyond ordinary woods distance. A representative federal premium load pushes a 180-grain Nosler partition at about 2,960 feet per second. Muzzle energy is roughly 3,500 foot-pounds, and it still carries about 2,200 foot-pounds at 300 yards. With a 200-yard zero, it drops about 6.5 inches at 300. That reduces elevation correction when wind, uneven ground, and limited shooting positions complicate the shot. The Nosler partition gives this load an Alaska advantage. Its front section can expand, while the internal partition helps preserve the rear core for continued penetration. That construction makes the 300 Winchester Magnum more than a mountain cartridge. With the correct bullet and careful placement, it can handle moose and other large game. The penalty is shootability. Calculated recoil is close to 29 foot-pounds from an 8.5-pound rifle, and lightweight rifles feel sharper. The Alaska Department of Fish and Game warns that magnum recoil and muzzle blast can teach a hunter to flinch. A muzzle brake may reduce recoil, but the extra blast can create problems for guides and hunting partners nearby. Number 5 suits the practiced hunter, who needs distance, not someone buying power as insurance against poor placement. It outranges the 2 lever gun cartridges behind it, but it does not deliver the same heavy bullet authority as the cartridges ahead. Number 4 shifts the balance toward dangerous game, placing greater diameter and energy into a rifle built for Alaska's tightest, wettest country. Number 4 is the 375 Ruger, a modern answer to an Alaska problem. Hunters and guides wanted the authority of a full-size 375 in a shorter rifle that could move through alder, fit inside a bush plane, and handle wet coastal weather. The result is compact, dangerous game performance with little mercy for the shooter's shoulder. Hornady and Ruger introduced it in 2007. Its beltless case is wider than the 375 H&H case, holding comparable powder while keeping the cartridge short enough for a standard length action. This lets rifles such as the Ruger Hawkeye Alaskan use a 20-inch barrel without the long magnum action required by the 375 H&H.A. Representative Hornady load drives a 270-grain interlock bullet at about 2,840 feet per second, producing roughly 4,800 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. With a 200-yard zero, it drops about 7.5 inches at 300 yards. This is not merely a close-range hammer. It retains useful reach for moose or bear, while its bullet weight and diameter support deep penetration through heavy bone and muscle. That efficiency has a cost. Calculated recoil approaches 48 foot-pounds in an 8.5-pound rifle, substantially more than the 300 Winchester Magnum. The reinforced SPRP bullet tip resists deformation when cartridges in the magazine are driven forward under recoil. Ammunition is available, but it is less established than older Alaska standards. That leaves a real choice. Would you rather carry the shorter 375 Ruger through dense brush despite its sharper recoil, or accept a longer, heavier rifle for smoother operation and broader ammunition support? Number 4 rewards the hunter who values compact power above comfort. Number 3 answers the same dangerous game question with more than a century of field history behind it. Number 3 is the 375 H&H Magnum. Introduced in 1912, it remains the standard for hunters who place dependable feeding, deep penetration, and dangerous game performance above rifle weight. For brown bear and moose, its verdict is authority, with history, in a rifle that is rarely light or compact. The long, gently tapered case is central to that reputation. Its shape reduces contact area that resists chambering and extraction, helping a bolt action cycle smoothly when dirt, moisture, or pressure could make a straighter case less forgiving. That margin matters when a quick follow-up shot is more important than saving ounces. A representative Hornady load launches a 300-grain bonded DGX bullet at about 2,530 feet per second, producing roughly 4,300 foot-pounds of energy. The bullet's sectional density is over 0.30, supporting straight penetration on heavy game. With a 200-yard zero, the load drops about 10 inches at 300 yards. That provides useful reach, although it suits bear country better than high mountain sheep hunting. Compared with the .375 Ruger, the H&H usually requires a longer Magnum action and a longer barrel. A rifle such as the Winchester Model 70 Safari Express weighs about 9 pounds. That mass is tiring during a long climb, but it also helps moderate recoil. Yet calculated recoil remains close to 44 foot-pounds. This is still a serious cartridge that demands regular, disciplined practice. The .375H, and H earns number 3 by combining penetration, reliable cycling, and ammunition support with more than a century of field credibility. Its size and weight keep it from winning here, and that sets up the top tier's hardest question. Is maximum authority worth less if the hunter cannot place it precisely? Number 2 gives away considerable power, yet gains the shootability and versatility that can matter more when the trigger finally breaks. Number 2 is the .30-06 Springfield. It does not outrun the .300 Winchester Magnum or strike like either .375. It ranks because an Alaska cartridge must be more than powerful. It must be available, versatile, and controllable enough for accurate first-shot placement. A representative federal premium load drives a 180-grain Nosler partition at about 2,700 feet per second, producing roughly 2,900 foot-pounds of energy. With a 200-yard zero, it drops about 8.5 inches at 300 yards. That is modestly more drop than the .300 Winchester Magnum load, while calculated recoil falls to about 22 foot-pounds in an 8-pound rifle. That recoil difference changes behavior. It allows more practice, reduces flinching, and makes a fast, accurate follow-up shot easier. The Nosler partition expands at the front while preserving the rear core for penetration. With suitable bullet weights and careful placement, the cartridge covers Sitka deer, Dall sheep, caribou, black bear, and moose. Heavy controlled expansion bullets have also given it a long record on Alaska brown bear. Guide Phil Shoemaker has defended the .30-06 against the idea that a Magnum is safer. His argument matches the Alaska Department of Fish and Game's advice. Accurate placement from a familiar rifle matters more than extra recoil a hunter cannot control. Ammunition is common, rifle choices are broad, and the cartridge has served generations of Alaska hunters for more than a century. Its weakness is margin. At 300 yards, this representative load carries less than 1,900 foot-pounds. For the largest brown bear, especially at difficult angles, a heavier bullet with greater sectional density provides more penetration margin. That keeps it at number 2. It is the alternative winner for recoil-sensitive hunters and mixed hunts. Number 1 keeps its reach and practicality, then adds the heavy bullet authority demanded by Alaska's biggest animals. Number 1 is the .338 Winchester Magnum. Its winning criterion is balance. It carries more bullet weight and penetration than the .30-06 reaches open country without the bulk of a .375 H&H and is supported in Alaska. It leaves fewer serious gaps than anything else. A federal premium load launches a 225-grain Nosler partition at 2,800 feet per second, producing 3,900 foot-pounds of energy. With a 200-yard zero, it drops 7.5 inches at 300, retaining 2,400 foot-pounds. That serves caribou or moose, while the controlled expansion bullet supplies penetration for grizzly and brown bear. The .30-06 is easier to shoot, but a 180-grain load carries less energy and bullet mass. The .375 H&H delivers frontal area and heavier bullets, but its rifles are longer and recoil approaches 44 foot-pounds. The .338 sits between them at 34 foot-pounds from an 8.8-pound rifle. Winchester introduced it in 1958 with the Model 70 Alaskan. Its purpose was near .375 authority from a standard length action with velocity for open terrain. Ammunition remains common, and 225 to 250 grain controlled expansion bullets cover the key roles. The strongest counter-argument is recoil. 34 foot-pounds can cause flinching. A hunter accurate with the .30-06 is better equipped than one afraid of the .338. A coastal bear guide may prefer either .375 for maximum close-range authority. Under this ranking's balanced priorities, the 338 stays on top. Emphasize low recoil, and the 30-06 can win. Emphasize close-range bear work, and the 375 H&H can win. For one cartridge across Alaska's mixed terrain and largest game, the 338 Winchester Magnum offers the strongest total package. Alaska does not reward the biggest cartridge on paper. It rewards accurate placement, adequate penetration, usable reach, manageable recoil, and ammunition support. Here, the 338 Winchester Magnum takes number one because it closes the most gaps overall. But the answer can change with the hunt. Would you carry the 30-06 for lower recoil and mixed game, or choose a 375 for a coastal brown bear hunt? Tell me which trade-off matters most in your Alaska setup. If you value practical, field-focused comparisons, built around evidence instead of hype, subscribe for the next Alaska ranking. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.